Next race to come up is the final B of the men's quadruple scull. We have seen fantastic semifinals yesterday, so today it's about the B final and later on the A final with lane 1 here in the B final for Ukraine. They were 9th at the Lucerne World Cup. And then it's Cuba in lane 2 with a new lineup. Cuba has also been in the B final at the Olympics, but after that has raced in this class. Not so for Great Britain. Bill Lucas on stroke seat, 2nd place at Lucerne, so they really are a bit disappointed, although there have been also some illnesses in during the time they were here in Bled, some stomach illnesses as well. United States in lane 5 and of course New Zealand in lane 4, and then finally the Swiss quad in lane 6. Here we have Andre Vorneborg to the right, the single sculler for Switzerland for a number of years, also in the Olympics. So once more, it's about places 7 to 12, semifinals. Immensely tough fighting here. Great Britain missing out by 0.4 of a second yesterday. New Zealand missing out by 0.08 of a second. So this is really fantastic racing from them. It's just our sport that's sometimes very tough and leaves these fine athletes out of the medal contention for this event.
The other part of that is qualifying for the Olympics, though. So certainly had they all made it into that A final, they would have earned automatic Olympic berths heading to London for 2012, but they're in the B final, so they're going to have to duke it out here to still qualify.
A good start from lane number 3. That's Great Britain, but very close field so far on the first 250.
So 5 boats will move on to Olympic qualification. The key in this race is to not be last. That said, you're also fighting for, we're looking at team selection down the road and making a case within your own nation. We're looking at places 7 through 12 for the international ranking this year.
So this is Sergei Grin for Ukraine, looking to his left. He's in lane 1, so he can see the whole field by looking left, and he sees the British quad on the move. They of course were disappointed, and they try to make up for that disappointment by taking an early lead here. 500 meters gone, Great Britain leading ahead of Ukraine. Yes, there they are. And then it was indeed Switzerland in 3rd place, just a second down, but it's just 2.5 seconds between first and last at this point. Last being the Kiwi crew, but they're not the fastest starting crew here. We've seen it over the last days that they sort of have difficulties in coming off fast from the blocks, but then they have a good middle section, and of course they will try to catch the British and win this B final.
And the Kiwis, both men's and women's quads, are up-and-coming boats in that program. Great Britain, when they finished 5th last year at the World Championships, it was their first time ever in the World Championship final. So certainly, a good sign for that team, and wanting to move towards London and qualify. Right now, qualification looking pretty good for them, but I think they really were hoping to continue that upward trend, and to get edged out of the A final by only 0.4. Well, it just tells you how competitive the men's quad field really, really is this year.
And this is also what this picture is telling us. There's an overlap between first and last still. So this is going to be a really good race on the second half coming up. Any second now. This is the 1,000 meter mark, the halfway mark, and still Great Britain holds on to a slight lead. Just a deck, or as the British would say, a canvas. It's the front part of the boat to the first rower. And here they are.
It appeared there may have been a little move coming from the Swiss. Here they are in lane 6 at the bottom of the screen. So wow, Great Britain maybe half a deck. My goodness, 6 boats still overlapping, half a deck over the Ukraine. There we see them over in lane 1, also on the move. Outside lanes looking in.
The Cubans are coming there as well.
What a great World Championships this has been for them as well, with the success of their single sculler. So definitely up and coming nation in sculling from Cuba. Look at the Kiwis.
Robert Manson on stroke position. Is a former double scull under 23 champion.
Also, 6th in Lucerne, knowing they were knocking on the door for an A final. Golly, 8/100ths of a second. So many, photo finishes and just tiny, tiny margins of victory. And margins for every place at this World Championships. But the Olympics are next year, and that's what we expect. The United States in lane 5, right in the thick of it as well, at 1,500 meter mark.
Still Great Britain in the lead. And then the Swiss now in second place. So what can Stephen Robotham and Sam Townsend in the middle section do? And Tom Salisbury on bow seat. They speed up now and try to get away, not leave it too far too late in the final sprint, because then everybody really can do it.
And now a push from the United States, who's drawn level with Switzerland and moved, well, just a couple of inches really ahead. These two boats going nearly stroke for stroke and possibly closing a little bit on Great Britain. It's all going to be about the lift for the line, keeping your blade work crisp as you're emptying the gasoline from the tank.
Here's the Swiss once more on the move, but it's still immensely close field here. You can see that from right to left. It's not much between 5 crews. Just the British have managed to slip away a little bit here. We come down to the line. Great Britain leading by half a length over the rest of the field. The Swiss are fighting very hard to maintain second place. Now it's United States coming through and surpassing them. It's definitely Great Britain winning this B final just ahead of the United States, or was it Switzerland? It's definitely 4th place for the New Zealand crew, and then it was either Cuba or Ukraine in 5th and 6th places. We will tell you that in a minute, because that's also very important because of the Olympic qualification here. So confirmation on our monitor for the first 3 places: Great Britain, United States in 3rd, Switzerland was 2nd, but the margin, no, sorry, that's not been now corrected. United States in 2nd, 200ths of a second ahead of Switzerland, so that's about a bow ball's width. And then we have in 4th position, as I said, New Zealand. 5th was Ukraine, just ahead of Cuba. So these two crews separated by 1,300ths of a second. Here we have